We're on the Circle, the famous Opry Circle. Every country music star has been here.
You are celebrating the past, present, and future of country music every time that curtain goes up.
It's been home for country music, obviously, and all these artists.
No other genre has this home.
I've never seen anything like what goes on backstage at the Opry.
Artists from different generations are coming together, and before you know it, the person in the dressing room next to you are bringing you homegrown tomatoes or a pie, or saying, hey, I have a recording session Tuesday, could you come in and play the fiddle?
My parents always said, if you take care of the Opry, they'll take care of you.
Coming here is a little like coming home.
So do you have any favorite spots that you always like to go when you're back in town?
You have to go. My favorite dive places.
Welcome to a very special episode of Traveling with AAA. It's our 100th episode, and we're in especially good company for this milestone because we're on location at one of America's most iconic music destinations.
I'm Angie Orth, and we are here celebrating 100 years at the Grand Ole Opry.
We're taking you behind the curtain of country music's most legendary stage, a place where legends and icons have strummed and sang for a century. From Patsy Cline to Johnny Cash and Loretta Lynn to Garth Brooks, this 6-foot circle has been the launchpad for countless careers and the site of so many unforgettable music moments. Joining me first is Dan Rogers, the executive producer of the Grand Ole Opry. Dan will share what makes the Opry so special, from surprise appearances and backstage camaraderie to the emotional moments when artists are invited to join the Grand Ole Opry as members. Then we'll hear from Nashville native and country music star Deana Carter, known for hits like Strawberry Wine and We Danced Anyway. Deana will share what it's like to perform on the Opry stage, her favorite Nashville haunts, and her most memorable Opry moments. She'll also give us some insider tips for first-time visitors. So grab your boots and hat and come along as we celebrate 100 episodes with 100 years of country music history, live from the Grand Ole Opry. I want to set the stage for our listeners. We are at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, celebrating 100 years of the Grand Ole Opry, our 100th episode of Traveling with AAA. Radio is the start, and podcast is where we are now. So I kind of like how it's very full circle, and very full circle because we're on the Circle. We're literally recording this on the famous Opry Circle that every country music star you've ever thought of in your life has been here,
Almost everyone
here.
has crossed those boards, you're right.
Yes, and just sitting here, I feel like I might be able to sing, so we'll try that later. But I want to introduce our guest today. This is Dan Rogers, and Dan started at the Opry as an intern. Am I getting this right?
You are correct. Slowly, very slowly, made my way to my current role, but it's been great. Opry's a great place to work, great place to be.
And what does that entail, being the executive producer of something like this?
To put it succinctly, I feel like I'm responsible at the end of the day for everything that takes place in the Circle, making sure that you are celebrating the past, present, and future of country music every time that curtain goes up on every single show.
Tell the person who has no idea, what is the Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah, so the Opry began really as just a radio show in 1925, and it eventually kept drawing so many people who heard it on the radio and wanted to see it in person.
This is not the original location, right?
It did find various homes around town until 1943. The Opry moved to the Ryman Auditorium, which had been a tabernacle, in a very odd way, really fit like this honky-tonk music. In addition to the gospel songs that country artists were playing, there's a real reverence for country music. So putting it in that space fit really well until 1974, when the Opry moved here. And this is the first building built specifically for the Opry. And this has been our home for more than half a century now.
even as a person growing up in the South, I wasn't totally sure of what it was until I came here years ago.
Sometimes it takes someone tuning in or coming and sitting in these seats to really understand. It started when radio was brand new, but now it is heard around the world via stream. Carrie Underwood was here a couple of weeks ago, and Garth Brooks made a surprise appearance last week. And then also occasional guests that really are on the edge of country music or in another genre even. It's like kind of the Opry way to always remain true to our past traditions, to make sure that we're celebrating the artists over the past 100 years who helped get us here today. You know, people like Patsy Cline and Johnny Cash and Loretta Lynn, but also making sure that our doors are wide open to the future, too.
The front of house is iconic, just sitting in the audience. Like, you're never going to forget that night. But backstage is a whole other vibe. I've never seen anything like what goes on backstage at the Opry.
No other genre has this home, if you will, where so many nights a week, 7, 8 to 10 artists from different generations are coming together and putting on a show. As people play more often, then you get to be friends with everyone else backstage. And before you know it, the person in the dressing room next to you are bringing you homegrown tomatoes because you mentioned you love tomatoes, or pie, or saying, hey, I have a recording session Tuesday. Could you come in and play the fiddle? Like, those things really happen. One thing that's so special is just that connection between artists and the staff that they recognize. So many people out on tour, and it's a different place every night. And coming here is a little like coming home, maybe to your musical home.
People feel very comfortable here. When you're backstage during a show, the doors are all open to the dressing rooms. Everybody's just hanging around. Also, everyone's in awe of each other, which I think is very special, that the artists are so excited to see the other artists and to pay homage to the ones who came before.
Truly. And I mean, been here a long time, and I'm still in awe of those special moments that happen. Vince Gill just last night was on stage and just made a casual reference to how important the song was to him and how it affects him every time he sings it. And Connie Smith, who's a 60-year Opry member, just looked at me and said, that song does the same thing for me.
Well, I noticed that in the show last night because Vince said, I'm going to play the song. It's about my brother, and I always tear up when I hear it. And I thought, well, it is a good thing that I don't know this song because everybody around me is sobbing. So it was just, as an outside observer, it was kind of beautiful to see how he was connecting with this big, beautiful audience. And it feels like a very intimate setting.
That song is Go Rest High on That Mountain. And it will be heard in these halls long after we're all gone.
So you have all these moments of awe that you experience, but I imagine there are funny moments, or, I bet you have some stories.
Oh my gosh.
So tell me a funny story.
Since we just talked about Vince, I love the nights that he comes to the show, because more often than not, he's sitting right over my shoulder over there, or even on stage, and just has the latest jokes, whatever, great stories. And I remember one time, Loretta Lynn, everybody was so excited that she was on the show, and they called and said she doesn't feel well and she just can't make it. And we had a moment of, okay, what do we do? Because people truly had come from across the country to see their hero. It was the early days of Twitter, and someone in our office pulled up their phone and said, Martina McBride literally just tweeted that she's sitting at home today, having a relaxing day at home, folding laundry. It's like, let's call Martina McBride. She was inducted into the Opry by Loretta, so it was perfect. So she came and she did a Loretta song even. Man, it just speaks to the heart of the Opry. People jumping in, saving the day, that sort of thing.
And the circle that is so famous. Tell us about the circle.
When the decision was made to create a home specifically for the Opry, folks were ingenious in that they wanted to take a part of that Ryman history and all those years of Opry history with them. So they cut a 6-foot circle of wood from the Ryman stage and placed it center stage here so that truly when you step up and put your foot on those boards, you're stepping where greats like Patsy Cline and Johnny Cash and so many have stood. I have seen a lot of artists not wanting to step into the circle until they're introduced, like, welcome to the Grand Ole Opry. Folks cry. I've seen one person who got so overwhelmed they couldn't sing and they just danced on the circle. So
Who was that? Will you tell me?
Sonny Sweeney.
Sonny Sweeney.
Who's now been back probably 50 times.
The first time I ever saw a show at the Opry, somebody was getting invited to become a member. And that did me right in. I was sobbing. How often does that happen? And what's the process?
For those not familiar with Opry, you get invited to become an Opry member. And then usually a few weeks, sometimes a few months later, we have a big celebration where you become an official Opry member. And it's so great. Night after night, folks get to bring in the people who helped get them to Nashville, their early mentors, friends.
It's very sweet. Is it always a surprise to the person getting invited?
We try to make it that way, yeah. John Party is the first native Californian, so he was invited in front of probably 80,000 people at the Stagecoach Festival.
Oh, wow.
And we put Alan Jackson up on these huge stagecoach screens and made that invitation, and it was like truly 80,000 people just hearing great news.
So many goosebumps.
Yep.
You don't even have to be a fan or know who the person is, but you will love them after, and it becomes...
I love that you say that because it's true. It's like,
it does.
You see it in the crowd. Some nights I think, my gosh, how lucky are they that they ended up on this night, just within the past week. We had a full show, and our announcer said, this next guy has been an Opry member for 35 years this week, and he wanted to come celebrate. Like the most casual introduction you would imagine. Please welcome Garth Brooks. And the band immediately kicks into Colin Baton Rouge, and Garth walks out right over there. And you just have these people who either didn't know really what they were in for that night or came thinking, you know what, the Opry has a surprise every once in a while. What if tonight's the night? And it's just great. It always is.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yep, that's true. I never know what we're going to get.
And that really tells you something because you're the guy in charge.
There you go.
So what does it mean to you to be at the helm of this 100-year celebration?
The first thing it means is we have a great group of staff, artists, and fans. It's a committed organization. More than anything, I'm just thankful. Thankful for them, thankful for the great artists, for our fans for coming, and for the opportunity to be doing what I'm doing, because it's great, it really is.
So Nashville is Music City. What does the Opry mean to Nashville? And what does Nashville mean to the Opry? It kind of feels like they're just one and the same.
I mean, they've grown up together, really. The Opry has benefited from being in Nashville, but the Opry has also helped give Nashville its Music City identity. It was someone on our flagship radio station, WSM here in town, that said, this is Nashville, Music City, USA. When you come to Nashville, kind of no matter your musical taste, it's the place that you can come and get a taste of so many things that have happened here in Music City. You'll get, obviously, traditional country music and the stuff that's on the charts now, but you'll probably hear a contemporary Christian song, R&B influences, all those pieces. Bluegrass, of course. Bluegrass was born on the Opry stage. So you'll get a little bit of all those tastes of Nashville in this one really dynamic, fast-moving, fun show.
I always think about how so many artists that play here are also based here or around here. And I think, do they carpool? Do they have a group chat? Like, do they just say, hey, I'm on next week. You want to come too? It kind of seems like it's just a more the merrier situation.
We've had artists that were at dinner together and said to the other, oh, I'm playing the Opry, you want to come? And then the other artist ends up backstage. We have had artists who met their heroes here and decided to record a song together, to write a song together. Brad Paisley will tell you that he grew up listening to Jimmy Dickens, and he met him here and basically, I think, said, this may be my one chance to make a friend of this guy, and invited him fishing, and like pulled up to his house, and little Jimmy, who stood 4'11", was standing at his mailbox with his fishing pole. And I think Brad probably thought, I'm going to be friends with this guy for the rest of his life. And that it really does happen back there, and honestly out there. Fans that sit near each other that become friends too, and say, let's come back to the Opry like the same weekend every year, that sort of thing. So that really does happen too.
People come here to celebrate all sorts of things. Birthdays, there were honeymooners here last night, and then the age of the audience is probably really surprising to people because it spans generations. I think it should be on everybody's travel bucket list, even if you have no idea why you would come. I just put it on there and do it, and trust me.
And I just say, make sure there's a hole in the bucket so it's never filled and you just keep coming back.
So for somebody that's coming for the first time, they're going to take our advice, put it on their bucket list, get here. What should they do? How should they experience the Opry for the first time?
I'd recommend coming and taking a daytime tour before the show, because it really sets up what this show is all about. And it kind of tells you the things to watch for during the show. And whether you've listened to the Opry or watched the Opry all your life, or you don't really know what it is, you're going to learn something that kind of helps you experience the show more. And then, because it's a radio show, watch what's happening on the sides, because that's just fascinating to me. You may see that next artist dancing in the wings, laughing with someone, folks hurriedly preparing for the next thing. And to come ready to embrace the whole thing. Odds are you may know all but two of the names on the lineup that night, but be ready for those two names, because they could be the top names in a genre you're not as familiar with, or it could be an artist that is going to go on to become the biggest thing in country music,
That happens.
Zach Top, Garth Brooks, Megan Maroney, Ella Langley, Vince Gill, they all played here for the first time, and at least 4,400 people saw that performance happen.
It's kind of like playing the lottery, because you don't necessarily know who's going to show up. So that's why you keep coming back.
But there's no losing ticket either. If you listen to country music all your life, you're going to hear songs that mean something to you and that you're familiar with. From Orange Blossom Special with a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame playing harmonica, to Don Schlitz, who wrote The Gambler, which is crazy that you can come and see the person who wrote a song that is known around the world, that you can hear it performed the way he heard it in his mind when he wrote it back in the 1970s.
And we talked about standing in the circle. Is that something visitors can do?
Yeah, on most tours, this is a working studio as well as the home of country music. So on most tours, you're able to come across, stand right where we are, and get your photo taken on this iconic stage. 9 times out of 10, you get to do that either on a daytime tour, or we'll also do tours right after the show. So basically, as soon as that curtain comes down, you get to see a video, and then you're back here truly walking in the footsteps of the artists who were on this stage, half an hour earlier.
Every time I'm here, I'm inspired to start my country music career, and I can't play music at all. If I can get everybody to leave, I might stand out here and sing a little song in the circle, but
I don't
I'm too
judge.
shy.
I'll sit in the front row
I couldn't
I'll
sing
give you a
poorly
standing
in the
ovation
circle.
no matter what. It's going to be great.
That. I appreciate that. See, that's the spirit
See,
of the
that's the
Opry.
Opry
That's the
for you.
community. But I doubt I'll ever get invited to be a member. Which one more question for you. You co-wrote a book, Backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. What is a backstage moment that you can tell us before we go?
Walking down the hall and seeing an artist that I didn't even know was coming to the show. It's the fun things that happen night after night. It's an artist who has played the Opry, for several times and has won it as country music success. And it just so happens that they're scheduled to play the Opry the night that their record goes #1. And the staff and their fellow artists are thrilled for them, like thrilled that their dream is coming true before our eyes. It's easy to take them for granted because they happen so often here.
Every couple of
But
days.
they're so meaningful too.
What about the next 100 years, Dan? Where are we going in country music, and how is the Opry leading the charge?
So many great things happening in the next year or two, looking ahead. For one, I think we'll do more things globally. Like we just had our first show in London. There'll be more ways than ever for people to watch the Opry. And then next year, our country turns 250, and the Opry we think of it as the home of American music. One thing we've already announced is we're going to do a special show celebrating the country's 250th at Carnegie Hall next year. So we'll be in New York City in March, and then we'll be celebrating our country and this place next year. And then in the years ahead, just making sure that we're always celebrating the past, present, and future of country music in this circle and over our airwaves for years to come.
If there's one thing to do when you come to Nashville, you come here for wedding, you come here for work, whatever brings you here, you have to go to the Opry.
I think
right?
you can say that because it really does give you a taste of so many aspects of Nashville. I mean, it is the home of country music, but I feel like it's ground zero for Nashville too. Like, it's past, it's present, and its future.
And now my interview with Deana Carter. You're a Nashville native, so this is home to you. What was it like growing up here in this kind of country music bubble?
It was the coolest place to be. Nashville's a big small town, and now it's just like this big city. Like it's a legit big city. It has been the blessing of my life to be from here. I'm so proud to be from here, and especially now that everybody loves Nashville as much as I do. It's really neat to have been born and raised here. My dad was a guitar player, so I grew up in this business, which is really, it just gets more and more special every year.
You're celebrating with a performance tonight for the
Yes,
Opry's 100th birthday. That's very exciting. What does it mean to you to be performing again? Because this is not your first time. You've been performing here for a while.
My parents always said, if you take care of the Opry, they'll take care of you. It's been home for country music, obviously, and all these artists, and the history is incredible. And Jeannie Seeley would come and spend time with me in my dressing room every time I would be here, and I'm so sad that she's gone here. So that means that how much they meant to the Opry in being here.
Tell us who you're performing with tonight and what you think about all these people.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's Connie Smith's 60th anniversary of being an Opry member, so it's a special night for her. It's 60 years. She looks 61. Like, she came out here in diapers, I guess, and sang on the Opry. But so I'm really proud for her. And Vince Gill. Whenever I'm here, they always work it out where I get to be with Vince for the most part. So that's always a big, big bonus.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him too.
We were talking about him today, and I said, I'm going to put the word in to be like the background utility girl in his band, because I
Because
really
he's just
want.
that great.
All I wanted to ever do is be a background singer. That would be amazing to just be like, do walk, and let him handle the rest. I'm gonna ask him for a job.
I bet he'd give you a shot.
I wanted to ask you, do you have a memory from being backstage from the times that you've performed? Do you have a special memory that you could share?
Whenever Ricky Skaggs is here and his band, you have to be here to witness it. I mean, I stand in the wings and watch them glued because they just smoke it. Every time they smoke the stage, it is incredible and it is so good. And another moment, well, this was a few months back, but Vince closed out the night. I love Vince so much, but he just walked out there with his guitar and brought the house down. And I will never not be just floored and moved by an artist that can sit there and do that, like kill it. I mean, he just oozes perfection in what he does. And when he sat on that stool and just being himself and pouring his heart out through his music, it's something that you, from the side of the stage, is just so inspiring. Yeah, so I have to give Vinny the token award for knocking me over every time I'm here.
For somebody who's never been to the Opry,
Mm-hmm.
what tips do you have for them for their first visit?
You need to do the tour because they have a little movie that I just saw last month for the first time. I hadn't even seen it. And it was really special because they take you in this virtual room and you get to kind of experience the Opry before you get into the Opry. And a lot of the artists are there and it's worth the time to definitely do the tour and get to see all the dressing rooms and, you get to be a part of the family for a minute. So I would say do that for sure. And then just enjoy yourself because it's a special night.
Aside from the Opry, where do you suggest folks go to see live music? I mean, you kind of can't swing a cat without hitting a musician around here, but what do you think? What's a good place for people to go check it out?
Definitely the Ryman, number one. That's one of the best shows you'll ever see or hear. You can't miss with a show at the Ryman. And Bluebird. The Bluebird. And, I know they're building up around there, but it's still there, thank goodness. And some of the writers' nights and things, I think 328 has some neat things. And those are the venues that are super cool. I know there's a bunch of new ones too, but those listening rooms are great. And also Zany's, the comedy club, is right down on 8th Avenue. And I used to work there.
Really?
I did. I swear I had a job everywhere in this town.
It sounds like it.
Yes.
You're a true local.
Yes, but Zany's is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And Jay Leno put me on the Tonight Show because I worked at Zany's, not because I had a record coming out or anything. He's like, well, she worked at Zany's. We have to have her on the show. Seriously.
But he didn't make you tell jokes, did he?
I tried and oh gosh,
Did you bomb?
I bombed so bad.
So music is everything in Nashville, obviously, but also food is everything in Nashville. So do you have any favorite spots that you always like to go when you're back in town?
You have to go. My favorite dive place is Brown's Diner. And I hate to even say it because I don't want it to get too discovered, but it's near Vanderbilt and it's this little trailer place and they fixed it up. I mean, it looks really good, but it's the best cold mug of beer that you can find and they have great burgers and stuff. So little bitty place. And Nancy Griffin used to be in there and, you'd see locals sitting there that lived in the neighborhood and it was very quaint and amazing. Yes. So I love that place. That's very cool.
Where would you tell somebody to go? They're here for a day. They're going to the Opry in the evening. What should they do during the day? What should they see in and around Nashville?
If you have the time, definitely do the Hermitage, the home of Andrew Jackson. It's a beautiful property, amazing tour to go do that. The Capitol is beautiful. They're working on it now, but I didn't even know this, but James K. Polk, who's kin to my family, like my mom's a Polk and it's in the lineage, he's buried up there. Like
Wow.
I know. So there's a lot of historical things that you can do. Go south to the Battle of Nashville and Civil War history is here. That's really wonderful. Belle Meade is beautiful with these old antebellum homes, and it's like the Bel Air of Nashville. It's really
yes.
neat to
Oh,
go
yes.
drive through. And I think Vince lives over there. Y'all can go see if you can find Vince's house. No, I'm teasing Vince. Don't kick me for that.
You'll have to take us. We'll just come with you and just visit all your famous friends.
So I don't know. But mainly the Civil War stuff. Nashville's so historical in that way. It's just a really neat thing. Do the General Jackson, the riverboat. That's fun. I used to work on the General Jackson.
Did you really?
I've had so many jobs in this town. Yes. And you literally could not miss the boat or you would miss your shift. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but all of this country music history is making me hungry. And lucky for us, we don't have to try to tackle the Nashville culinary scene blindly. Join me for our next episode with Nashville food writer Jackie Gutierrez-Jones as she points us in the direction of the best places for a great Southern bite, Nashville style. Dan Rogers and Deana Carter, thank you both for joining us. And thank you, our listeners, for being with us. If you're planning a trip, be sure to connect with a AAA travel advisor. Check out AAA.com/travel or visit your local branch. This podcast is a production of Auto Club Enterprises. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave us a review. I'm Angie Orth. Thank you for traveling with AAA.